And I wonder if you know how it really feels to be left outside alone. No one wanted to go in the breakaway. Stage 11, the last sprint stage for a week from Clermont-Ferrand to Moulins. And Jasper Philipsen's been dominating these sprints. No one's been able to get close to him. And it's a bit of a lumpy stage at the start. So I thought a few of the other teams would want to get in the breakaway to put pressure on him and Alpecin, or maybe make it not a sprint. But when the flag dropped, no one was interested. Amador rolls off the front, looks back, and EF were hoping it would be a big rouleur 15-man deep break. No one's jumping. Movistar, FDJ, UNOX, Intermarché, Ineos, Jumbo. All these teams that are unlikely to win a sprint against Jasper Philipsen, and eventually he's joined by Arkea, who do have Mozzarella in a sprint. Ineos and Movistar and UNOX, I think, tried once, and then Alpecin marked them once, and they were like, oh, well, we'll just stop trying. And so the breakaway formed with not much of a fight, which is curious, because yesterday it was a huge fight. Tomorrow it'll be a huge fight. FDJ got better things to do, obviously, and other teams as well. And Lotto Destiny start chasing. They keep the gap really, really close. I mean, it does go to 3:23, and then Quinten Hermans and Jayco start shredding it. I don't know why, because the break, like Amador and Daniel Oss, they didn't even want to be there. They were just, I'm only here so I don't get fined, because, you know, they kind of got in the break and then it was too late to back out. So pretty chill stage for the most part, actually. I'd say the most tranquil stage of the tour so far. And, you know, it is the dream of a lot of people to live in these sort of castles, but the upkeep and the draft, I really don't think living in a chateau or a castle is all it's cracked up to be. But this viaduct was pretty sick. And like, when was this built? Like, how did they build these things? Because they're so high and they're on a slope, and I don't know. It's just, it always amazes me seeing feats of engineering. Coquard gets a lead out for the intermediate sprint. He gets pipped at the line by Jasper Philipsen again, who has basically one green. There's a deer that runs around. I see lots of mouflon and deer and things like that here in Andorra. And vultures too. Anyway, there was supposed to be crosswind nervousness. You could see everyone got told to get to the front. There's a USA flag and a Canadian flag on the same camper van. Now, I thought after Jorgensen was destroyed by Woods the other day on Puy de Dôme, that wouldn't fly, but they got sort of every flag I can see, French flags. And Oss is like, well, Louvel's dropped. Can I stop? Can I stop just riding 30 seconds in front of the peloton now? And they say, no, you got to go for combativity. Quick step, start pacing. You think, oh, the pace is on. The gap actually goes out to us to 40 seconds because the sprinter team's like, why are we trying to catch a lone man 50 Ks from the finish? Let's just chill out a little bit. And the rain comes, DSM move up. Now we're into 10 Ks to go. The fight for position is on. The GC fight for quote-unquote safety was mainly Jumbo today. Ineos and UAE weren't present. They were at the back of the peloton. But luckily there weren't any crashes, you know, with the rain, with the road furniture, with the white painted lines. Van Hooydonk rips it. Alaphilippe was doing a lead out for Quickstep, but he kind of gets jumbled up. He should go back to Asgreen, and he tries to slide in on Laporte's wheel, and Vingegaard gives him a very bony big don't argue from the gutter, and Alaphilippe says, oh, sorry, I didn't see that, I was just trying to slot in. But anyway, Quickstep, bit of a jumbled mess today in the lead out. They couldn't get Jakobsen in good position, and the roundabouts were key. These are the key to the stage. That one was equidistant, didn't matter too much which side you went. This one, though, have a look at this roundabout. This one's a little bit fat on the left-hand side, or the right-hand side, rather. If you go the right-hand side of this roundabout, your sprint's over. You're going to lose 50, 70 positions. So the side to take on the roundabout is very, very important, and obviously that's the DS responsibility in the radio. Say go to the left side of this one, the right side of this one. But Laporte's on the front now. This is what's curious. He's the last man for Van Aert. They're under 3 Ks to go, so Vingegaard is quote-unquote safe, and Laporte keeps pacing and burns up a little bit of energy here while Mez gets his in the wheels piloting Groenewegen in a good spot. Søren Kragh eventually comes to the front for Alpecin. They get jumbled up a bit too. And you see this roundabout? The right side was the way to go, and DSM once again, unfortunately for Welsford, they go the wrong side of a roundabout, and that is his sprint over. And yeah, this is a bit of a mess. All these sprints really the last 3 Ks, particularly today when Alpecin couldn't take as good a control as previously. There was no Van der Poel, so when Søren Kragh pulls off, it's Asgreen pulling, but Jakobsen's way back on Mercury's wheel, deeper, Groenewegen surfing, and you see Philipsen here. He lets Rickart's wheel go because it's about to be a right-hand corner, and if he follows Rickard, he's probably going to get squeezed into barriers by Kirsch or somebody. So Rickard slides underneath Van Aert. Philipsen just loses a few wheels and tacks onto Caleb Ewan's wheel, who's got two men in front of him. I think Vermeersch, but definitely De Boist in front of Ewan. Oh, it's Kirsch, sorry, not Vermeersch in the Luxembourg National Champs jersey. And now it's looking pretty good for Van Aert. He's fourth wheel, 1,300 metres to go. He's getting a lead out from two other guys plus Laporte if they can keep the speed high. But the problem is, at 650 metres to go, when De Boist pulls off, similar to what happened the other day, Sturven comes under the right-hand side, but not with enough speed for Pedersen. Mez gets, I think it is, jumps for Groenewegen, and he beats Laporte to the spot on the right shoulder of De Boist, and that is Van Aert's sprint over because there's a big deceleration. He has to slow down whilst everyone else washes over them. And you just got to watch Philipsen in this sprint. You'll see it in the overhead. He tacks onto Van Aert's wheel, and here he makes the decision, anticipates, and already does his first sprint. And this is the difference between him and everybody else. He can do two sprints. He sprints to Groenewegen's wheel here, gets the draft on Groenewegen, and beats Bauhaus and Van Aert to a wheel that wasn't even open. Gets onto that draft, and even though Groenewegen's very, very fast, comes out of his wheel late and just beats him by a bike length in the finish while everyone else is sitting down. Groenewegen's second. But look at this here. As I said, Van Aert is trying to get to Groenewegen's wheel. Bauhaus is moving Mayus into the barriers, and luckily there was no crashes in this finish either. He then swings back and tries to take Groenewegen's wheel off Van Aert, whilst Philipsen, he's already sprinted to that spot. And so now he's got the perfect run in because Groenewegen's going to jump at 200, which is a little bit too early. Christoph's let go at 250, which is too early. And if you're the fastest, you're in the best position, you get the best draft, run into it. I mean, he didn't though. Van der Poel wasn't there today. He had to do that initial sprint in the wind himself, and he's just too good. Philipsen wins his fourth stage. And I would say if you're at the other sprint teams or half sprint teams, maybe think about the breakaway on stages like this. Certainly on stages 18 and 19, because no one's beating this guy right now. Four for Philipsen, Groenewegen, Bauhaus, Cockard, Pedersen, Christoph, Mozzato, another top 10, then Sagan, Van Aert, Welsford. Here is what Philipsen had to say after the stage.
Jasper Philipsen, this morning I asked you if I could call you Jasper the Master. You didn't want to answer. Can you answer now?
If you say so. I said this morning if I win again today, maybe yes. But yeah, it's an incredible tour so far. I can't realize how good it's all going. So yeah, just super proud and really happy with my shape. And also to get through the final without problems is also a big challenge. And yeah, we managed to do it already 4 times in a row. Super happy.
But no GC changes of note in the top 10 at all. Vingegaard and everybody and Pogačar safely. So interesting stage tomorrow, quite hard actually. Medium mountain stage even harder than yesterday where there was chaos at the start. Will we see action? There's bonification on the top of Rosier. There's obviously bonuses at the finish. Hopefully we do, but I think it'll be a big, strong breakaway that will go for it. We'll see every team try and get in the break tomorrow. You'll have to have quality to do it, and I'll see you with the recap tomorrow. Ciao.